Brothers and sisters, as always, I like to start by opening up with the Fatiha, as we always do. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim. Malik Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina as-sirata mustaqim. Siratal ladhina an'amta alayhim. Ghayril maghdubi alayhim wal-dallin. Ameen. Brothers and sisters, the time that we're in right now, where the world's views on things have altered itself according to its own desire, has taken us so far from originality in the will of God that sometimes we can't see that transition has even occurred. And one of the biggest problems why that can't be seen is because we don't go back to the word. We don't go back to look at the scriptures and really see what the scriptures tell us about will be the outcome at the end of days. That what will be the sign that we've actually entered into the end of days. And if we pay attention to that, if we go and research and we go and we look and we see what was predicted to be the end of time, we'll realize that the brother prophet Sadiq is not. He's not off. There's something definitely into what he's saying. You see, I got a message this morning, and it kind of really disturbed me. Because I would expect that people that have some type of spirituality in their life, some type of spiritual understanding, would understand that when somebody has a calling greater than themselves, that it shouldn't be surprising. It shouldn't be surprising at all. I actually expected them to be a heck of a lot more supportive of the fact, but you know what? Allah knows best. And at the end of the day, I'm going to say this, and I'm saying this blatantly to everybody. In this mission that I'm on, I don't need anybody. I, Prophet Sadiq Hamid ibn Allah, doesn't need anybody to do this. I have the greatest confidant, friend, protector, guardian, and provider walking right with me, with the angels, so I can do what I need to do for his glory. So anybody that thinks that there's something wrong, only thing that's wrong is you're not catching the message. That's what's wrong. Anybody that thinks that the path that they're on is the right path, and it's not a path of complete submission and constant meditation and learning exactly what was supposed to be in this world as you practice a submission to the Creator, you need to stop worrying about yourself before you worry about me. I'm already good. I've already obtained what everybody else is trying to reach for. So, I'm going to tell you one of my biggest fears for the people that I care about and for the brothers and sisters that I'm talking to right now. One of my biggest fears is that death will catch them as unaware as it caught me, and they won't be in the same position that I was when it came to me. See, the position I was in was one of complete submission. Complete submission. The last thing I was doing before I passed away was praying. The last thing that I was doing before I passed away was praying. You know what I was doing before I was praying? I was preaching. And you know what I was doing before I was preaching? I was studying. You want to know what I was doing before I was studying? I was praying. You see how that works? Do you see how that works? See, I live my life in a constant state of dhikr. And for those of you that are not Muslim and they don't know what the word dhikr means, I'm going to explain it to you. Dhikr means a state of remembrance of the Creator. I stay in a constant state of dhikr. There's not a moment of a day or a day of a week or a week or of a month that I am not spending 98% of that day in one way or another thinking about the Creator. And everybody's like, sleep. What about the other 2%? I'm asleep. See, I didn't come here for fame. I wasn't sent here for recognition or even acceptance. The only one I ever needed to accepted me to such a degree that he made me one of his own and sent me back into the world to see if maybe we can get some more people on the bus. Because we're in the last days. And the thing about the days of judgment, a lot of y'all that think you're right with the Creator ain't even nowhere near close to being on the right path. Ain't even close to being on the right path. Because you know what the right path is? The right path is a commitment to truth. It's a commitment to truth. It's a commitment to live your life in the truth and light of the Creator. That's the right path. Constantly being in a state of complete submission to your Creator. See, that's the right path. And the only way that you obtain that is to realize that in this world, there is no power greater than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There is no power greater than the Creator. And that power He has invested into those who completely submit for Him. See, I've never asked everyone to accept my mission on my terms. That would mean that I'm doing it for me. Nor would I ever expect anybody to understand my mission on my terms. Because again, that would be all about me. This mission ain't about me. This ministry ain't about me. This prophet ain't about me. It's about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and what He wants done. I don't have a say in the matter. If I had a say in the matter, I'll go right back to being quiet, stay out the way. You won't even know what I'm doing, nation. I didn't have that option. See, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brought me back into this world as His chosen messenger, He didn't ask me my opinion. He didn't ask me, is this what you want to do? He didn't ask me, what do you think? No. Sorry, I didn't get that option. If anybody did get that option, then you know what? I don't know who you're dealing with or what Creator you think sent you. But I'm going to tell you something about the glory of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the way He works. See, the way Allah works is like this. I'll tell you what to do. You do it. Don't argue with me. Don't debate with me. Don't justify yourself for trying to argue with me. You do what I tell you to. That's submission. Alhamdulillah. Here I am, my Lord. You see how that works? See, that's how you have to go through life. See, you know what's so funny? If y'all are sitting there thinking something's wrong with me and judging what I'm doing, you know what that goes to tell me? You don't have the faith that you think you have. That's what it tells me. Because if you have faith in the Creator and in the glory of the Creator, the first thing that would ever come to your mind in a situation like the one that you see right now before you is that's how the Creator works. That's how He works. He works in a way that you're never going to understand to show you His greatness. And that's the best thing. That's the best thing. You see, Allah in His greatness has taught us that there is nothing under the sun that is impossible for Him. Nothing. I don't care what you could possibly ever assume to believe that the Creator can't do. But I'm telling you right now, don't ever think that He can't do whatever He want to do when He wants to do. Don't ever think that you're His creation and He can't pick out of His creation whatever He wants, whenever He wants. See, the second you start thinking that, I feel for you. I feel for you. Because it's at that point and doing that you've already lost faith. It's at that point and doing that you've already lost faith. So, I want all my brothers and sisters to listen to what I'm saying. And I want you to listen to it on a level of truth. Give me one second, because I'm going to do this in a way that maybe something y'all can understand a little bit better. I'm going to get the words real quick. So, let me stop first. Because, see, that's the thing. I know some of my Muslim brothers and sisters might find it difficult certain things to understand what's going on. But they have a little bit more greater understanding of the levels of faith. So, I'm going to read to you what Allah told me to read to you. So in the book of John, chapter 6, this is what Jesus said. And I want you to understand how this relates. Because like I told you yesterday, the spirit of prophecy is the same spirit. When a messenger, when a Rasulullah is picked, it's the same spirit that went into any of the messages that came before. See, it's not a new thing. It's not like, you know what,
oh, this is a new spirit of prophecy. No. So Jesus goes on to say here, John 6, starting at verse 35. I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me will not get hungry at all, and whoever exercises faith in me will never get thirsty at all. But as I said to you, you have never seen me, and yet do not believe. He said, but as I said to you, you have even seen me, and yet do not believe. All those whom the Father gives me will come to me, and I will never drive away the one who comes to me. For I have come down from heaven to do not my own will, but the will of him who sent me. This is the will of him who sent me, that I should lose none out of those whom he has given me, but I should resurrect them on the last days. For this is the will of my Father, that everyone who recognizes the Son and exercises faith in him should have everlasting life, and I will resurrect him on the last day. Most truly, I say to you, whoever believes has everlasting life. So, here's my question to the non-believers. For Christians, did you or did you not believe that there would be, in the last days, the return of Christ? I don't know what y'all was waiting for. Maybe I was waiting for the little blonde-haired, blue-eyed guy that you see in the picture that's not even what he looked like. Or maybe you expected that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or Jehovah God or whatever name you want to call him by was going to send back the same person that was back then. No, it's the Spirit that he sends. And he descends it upon whom he chooses. So you got to remember that when Jesus was born, Emmanuel, when he was born Jesus, he was not yet called the Christ. He did not become the Christ until 33 years old when he was anointed after his baptism, and God sent the dove down and anointed him as the chosen one. See, the word Christ literally comes from the word Christos, which just means he who has been illuminated by the light of God. So now we're on awe at the fact that somebody could reach divine enlightenment, that they could actually join themselves with the Creator, that they could actually be resurrected. Well, I'm here to tell you, I'm a living testament of resurrection. Both physically, spiritually, and mentally. See, the second resurrection, as you hear about it, the second resurrection is a spiritual resurrection. It's not a physical resurrection. We have come so far from who we are as the servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we literally have forgotten our purpose on this earth was to serve his will. His greatest will is for us to learn him, come to know him, and enjoy life. What's so wrong about that? What is so hard for you to understand in that? So, as the Lord inspired me, I began to start writing the other day. And one of the things that he said to me, and the Lord said to me, prophet, there is wisdom in the world devised by sin. For its wisdom is the fruit of the tree of knowledge, the sweet honeysuckle of a new dew melon, fragrant and ripe, arousing and seductive, calling to the memory of the mind. Whenever will I taste such pleasure, that may I find nourishment in its command of me. Just as the melon will command your energy to be excited and rise, so too will the hidden secrets of sin's truth call out to you to be enlivened. And the Lord said to me, prophet, there is wisdom in the world advised by sin. See, sin, you know what that word really came from? It was an invention. It was an invention of man to pass the buck of what really happened in the Garden of Eden. It was the invention of man to pass the buck for two reasons. One, to make woman look like a lesser creature of fault. To make it look like the whole reason why everything that's ever happened since the Garden of Eden, it wasn't man's decision, it was the woman's fault. I'm here to clarify that. Eve had nothing to do with it. Nothing. Sin, or what we call sin, is a condemnation of our own true, spiritually intellectual nature. See, you see a beautiful woman going down the street and you're like, that, she's gorgeous, man. I love this. I love to, you know what I'm saying, talk to her or whatever the situation is. And the first thing somebody want to say to you, oh, that's sin. That's sin. You're coveting. Oh, you're desiring. That's sinful. That's not sinful. See, let me tell you what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and how Allah works. See, Allah is very simple in his requests of us. Very, very simple. See, Allah tells us one thing. You know what he tells us? You can either follow the opinion of the world and the people in it, or you can follow me. I'm sorry, people. I went with the safest bet, and it led me to the understanding of the true meaning of eternal life. It led me to be able to call on my Lord in such a way that I built a true relationship with him. A true relationship. But now all of a sudden, nobody wants to understand that that level of relationship is possible. Why not? Why is it so hard to believe that a man like you could be chosen by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? In the book of Al-An'am in the Quran, which is chapter 6, ayat 11, Allah told me to read this so that you guys can hear his word. Say, go about in the land and see how evil was the end of those who treated the prophets as liars. Ask them, to whom belongs all that lies in the heavens and in the earth? Then, since they will not be able to answer, say, it belongs to Allah. He has taken upon himself the rule of mercy, so he does not take the sinners to task immediately. He will continue to assemble you together till the day of resurrection. There is no doubt about it. Yet those who have lost their souls will not believe. To him belongs whatever exists in the darkness of the night and whatever dwells in the light of the day. And he is the all-hearing and the all-knowing. Shall I take to myself a patron other than Allah, the originator of heavens and the earth? It is he who feeds but is fed by none. Say, I have surely been commanded that I be the first of those who submit to God. If I disobey my Lord, I fear the punishment of a dreadful death. See, I didn't disobey him in life. I'm definitely not going to disobey him now that I know that I've been brought back. Now that I know I've been reborn as a new creation. I'll be an idiot. I wasn't dumb before, I'm not going to be dumb now. It's not like I'm just going to say, you know what, I had an opportunity to advance, I advanced to idiocracy. The time has come that the way that leads to the Creator be manifested in life, in sight. See, there was a lot of things that Jesus was doing that he couldn't talk about or couldn't be talked about because it would have been called sin. But it was nothing wrong with it. The world corrupts the things that are righteous and right and then labels it as a sin so the devil can convince you that you're doing the will of God by going against your nature, which is that which was designed by the will of God. You see why it says the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world it didn't exist? Because I'm telling you right now, if you live according to the way that the world wants you to live, condemning everything as sin that's not sin, you know what's going to happen? You're never going to find your way. You know why Muslims are able to see the insight and the path to Jannah? Because they know that they only have 3 prohibitions. Not to drink alcohol, not to eat swine, not to gamble. They're able to have marriage at a level of understanding where they can really build a strong community of physical, mental, and spiritual support. They're allowed to go into the world and utilize the things of this world to gain financial advancement. See, when you submit to the Creator, He is your discernment between what is wrong and right. But like the Apostle Paul said in the book of Romans, I am not under the law of flesh, but I am under a spiritual law. That spiritual law is what brought me to a state of understanding my divine so that He could bring me to a state where I had the actual ability to be able to see things in the light of divinity. I'm not asking anybody to believe in me. I'm not asking anybody to follow me. I'm not even asking for anybody's support. I'm asking everybody to seek out within their own hearts the truth of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and ask yourself this. Why would I ever deny myself the answer to the prayers that I constantly make for somehow Allah to send me something that will give me absolute proof and remove doubt of His will, His way, and His laws, so that I might know that I will reach the paradise gates and enter into it. That's what He gave you. You don't accept it? It's not on me. I'm going to do another ministry later, as you know. This was something that Allah asked me to clarify. I have to do some studying and stuff, so. All praise and glory be to Allah, subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Most High. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. اهدنا الصراط مستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين.